A new version of Camtasia was just released, and here's 5 things that I found that were great and 1 disappointment that I have. To begin with, there's a new modern layout that is the same between Windows and Mac. The layout's clean, it's really easy to use, and very easy to see what you're getting at. You can switch between all of the different modes, the canvas is very clearly laid out, and the timeline is also well established. The second thing is behaviors. Previously in Camtasia, to add animation, you really had to do a lot of work, especially with text. Now, there's an area that you can use just dedicated to animating text and other features. So if we wanted to, I have text on my screen, I can drag this down and drop it right on that element, and now when I scrub through my timeline, we see it flies in. Previously in Camtasia, this was a little bit more difficult to accomplish and a lot more difficult to make it look nice. The third area is voice narration. Previously in Camtasia, you record it, you went through, and you didn't really have much in the way of voice editing options. Now you can actually record while you're scrubbing through your timeline. So as I'm scrubbing through here, I could actually start recording my voice and kind of go along with the timeline of how everything's set up. This is super useful if you want to be able to do your recordings at one time and then add voice into it later, so you can get a really clean, professional look. They also have an area for your script to be pasted in, so you can watch what's happening on your timeline and then be able to say exactly what's happening as you want it to happen. And wherever you're at on your timeline, when you hit that start voice recording button, the voice will pick up from where you're at on your timeline. So it really minimizes the amount of editing you need to do as far as audio goes. The fourth thing I really like is being able to pan on the canvas. Now they moved around a couple of buttons. The property is still down at the bottom, but they've moved the view percentage as well as the crop button up here. There's also this new button called pan. Previously, when I zoomed into something, you could only zoom in to the center of the screen. Now you can zoom in, but you can also move side to side. Super helpful when you're trying to get the fine details of something figured out. The last thing I really like is in the visual effects, you have the mask tool. And what this does is allows you to keep a certain area or get rid of a certain area. And this does it without cropping and also without removing colors. So it's not the green screen effect and it's not a cropping effect, but allows you to keep a certain region highlighted or inverted so you actually get rid of that region pretty easily. All you have to do is drag it down onto your timeline and then go into your properties and you can edit what exactly you want to have happen. So in this case, I have an oval. I can choose it to be a rectangle, and right now I want to keep that. Let's say I want to get rid of that. I can say get rid of that, so only the area outside of the masked area is showing. It's a great tool and going to be really helpful for doing some advanced things inside of Camtasia. Now let's move on to the one disappointment I really have with Camtasia. On the Mac version, you do not have the media assets that you do in the Windows version. The library only shows up on the Windows version, and I'm not sure why exactly that happened. They said they were trying to make them both pretty much the same, and they've done a really good job from what I can tell, but when I'm working on my Mac, which is my primary machine, I don't have access to the backgrounds, the music, the lower thirds transitions, all that stuff. I don't have access to it on my computer here, and that's kind of an annoying feature. I'm not sure why that happened, and hopefully they will add them on in the near future. But those are 5 things you can do on a new Camtasia, and one minor disappointment that I have. Enjoy.